So in internet time, it's probably already too late to talk about the Switch 2, but I'll be real, I expected my last Nintendo video to get like 15 views and it ended up getting like 2,000. And so I figured we'll do another little Nintendo video. So in this one, we got to talk about things the Switch 2 needs. There's a lot of problems with the Switch 1 that I think need to be addressed when we get the new Switch. So what I made here, I made a little Photoshop file, nothing too fancy. We're basically going to be using this as kind of a PowerPoint, or maybe you could call it a moving thumbnail. Now, I'm not going to dilly-dally too much. I don't want this intro to be too long. We're going to start off with the first thing, and these are going to be in order of priority for me. So the first and highest priority thing that I think the Switch 2 needs is Hall effect sticks. Dude, oh my goodness, these Joy-Cons are way too expensive for how often they break. So just in case you don't know what a Hall effect stick is, unlike standard analog sticks, which use like electrical resistance to detect movement, Hall effect joysticks actually use magnets, so there's no physical contact. Because of that, it means that Hall effect sticks don't wear out nearly as easily, and it makes them significantly more durable. I have a real issue, not only with Nintendo, but just with modern companies not using Hall effect sticks. It really bothers me. So as many know, you can get like an 8-bit Do controller cheaper than you can get a Switch Pro controller on the Nintendo Switch, and that's going to have Hall effect sticks. That's never going to get stick drift. If the Joy-Cons on the Switch 2 don't have Hall effect sticks, I genuinely think I'm not buying it. It's insulting to me that these big companies keep releasing these scam controllers. They just want to sell you another controller, and that's why they're making their own controllers intentionally less durable. Keep in mind, while it does add to the price of production to put Hall effect sticks on a controller, it's not high enough. You can literally right now get a $50 retro handheld. I think it's called the Magic X Mini or something. That thing has Hall effect sticks. It is a $50 handheld that plays like up to N64 games. So there's no reason that a full price first party console would not have Hall effect sticks. It is insulting, and Nintendo needs to start competing. There's much more handhelds on the market now. It's not the way it used to be when the Switch came out originally. I think Hall effect sticks should become standard. It would also make Nintendo look better than other companies because Sony controllers don't have Hall effect sticks. Xbox is not as bad on this topic because Xbox actually lets third parties make Xbox controllers. So similar to the Switch, you actually can just get an 8-bit Do Xbox controller with Hall effect sticks. But seriously, the fact that it's more likely that your Dreamcast stick works than it is that your Switch Joy-Con works in the year 2025 is absolutely insane. We absolutely need sticks that are durable. It's crazy to me that the Switch didn't have Hall effect sticks because, as you can see, it's not like it's new technology. So yeah, that's gonna be my first point here. Hall effect sticks, this is the biggest one for me. If they don't get announced, I genuinely think I'm skipping out on the console, even though I'm super interested. Maybe I would and just buy like, third-party Joy-Cons with Hall effect sticks. But yeah, I don't know, dude. If they're going all the way, they're putting a mouse feature on the controller and everything, might as well go all the way and put a freaking Hall effect stick in there. It does not add enough to the price to not do it. And while we're talking about the quality of their sticks, might as well just lump this in as well. Just a more quality build in general. So here I have like a made in China fake Switch from AliExpress, and here you have the latest Aya Neo 2. So what changed really since the Switch came out is that now there is a huge market for handhelds, right? The Steam Deck came out, the Aya Neo devices, the ROG Ally. There's just so many different premium options, and a lot of them are priced similarly to a new console. I feel like the Switch 1, obviously it's not as bad as this, is just kind of a meme, but the Switch 1 does feel kind of cheap. The plastics, the tablet feels cheap, the plastics on the controllers feel cheap, the Joy-Cons keep breaking. This isn't like a point that I'm going to go too crazy in depth on, because if you own a Switch, you already know what I'm talking about. It just doesn't feel very premium as a system. It feels very flimsy too, so definitely you know, this is going to be something that you won't really be able to tell until you see like reviews for the Switch 2, like hardware reviews and stuff like that, or even if you get your hands on it or something. Until then, we won't really know. But I would hope that the Switch 2 is built more sturdy, more premium, higher quality plastics, nicer textures, you know, stuff like that. Aya Neo is way more expensive than a Switch, you know, so like this is like as premium as it gets. I'm not saying it needs to be the same quality as an Aya Neo device, but I really think there's no reason that the Switch 2 shouldn't at least feel as premium as like a Steam Deck OLED, for example, or even a ROG Ally, honestly. And honestly, I mean, I don't even like the buttons on the ROG Ally, so I don't even know, maybe better than that. But yeah, I really needed to feel quality. I will say from the pictures and the videos we've seen of Switch 2, at least looking at it visually, it looks like better textured plastic. It looks better. But that's something you won't be able to tell until you actually hold it in your hands, or at least see some reviewers talk about the build. So this is not, you know, I'm not going to go as in depth on this point, but I really want to see the Switch just feel more quality physically in general. But we're going to move on from this topic here. The next one that I think the Switch really, really needs is a better eShop. We cannot have Nintendo eSlop anymore. These these games here with like AI generated thumbnails just permeating the new releases on Switch is crazy. I'm gonna put some footage of how slow the eShop is on the screen too. The eShop is a disaster. So from what I understand, the reason that the eShop is so bad is because it's not even like actual software. It's basically running a website through the Switch internal browser that you don't really have access to. Well, I think there's ways to access the Switch browser, but yeah, from what I understand, the Nintendo eShop is basically a website on the Switch. Now, there's really no reason for the eShop to be this bad. We absolutely cannot be having this again on a new Switch system. They need to make a better eShop, or, you know, just get rid of the Nintendo eShop name completely and just figure something else out, because the eSlop is too much, man. A lot of the other modern platforms like the PlayStation 5 and you know, even like on Xbox and stuff like that, you can kind of browse their stores in the same way that you browse Netflix. Like it's like you can browse their stores to get ideas of what you want to play. This is literally impossible on the Switch. On the Switch, you need to know exactly what you want. You need to go to the search bar, search the game you want, and just get that, because actually browsing the store is hell. It sucks. It's terrible. What a disaster. And this next one actually does somewhat tie into this: account transfer and backwards enhancements. So these are two things that I'm just going to group together because I feel like they're easier to talk about together. Here I have a picture of you know, like your PlayStation 5 library, just as an example, because on PlayStation 5, of course, you can have all your PS4 games on your PS5. And then here I have a picture of a before and after enhancements. Now I think this is just a mod, you know, like I don't think you can just like up-res textures like this just by having better hardware. But I will say, we already know that the Switch is backwards compatible, so hopefully and surely that must mean that they're going to let you carry over your account on your Switch 1 to your Switch 2, so that all the games you bought digitally are also backwards compatible, right? Because it would be absolutely insane if you know, you get a new Switch and they do like they did for basically like a Wii to Wii U or Wii U to Switch, where you basically lose all your games. Like you just lose everything you bought. That was a thing back then. Now, you know, times have changed. You can play all your PS4 games on PS5. You can play damn near every Xbox game on the Xbox Series X. So there's really no reason for Nintendo not to do this. This is something I put lower on the priority list because I'm not really worried about that. I think it would make literally no sense to announce backwards compatibility but not let you carry over your games that you bought digitally. It would just make zero sense. The enhancements, however, the backwards compatibility enhancements, are something I'm not sure if I can expect Nintendo to do it, and I think it's extremely necessary. Like, for example, you know, a lot of people were talking, oh, maybe they would release a Tears of the Kingdom remaster on Switch 2. I think that would be ridiculous. I think if you own Tears of the Kingdom and you want it to have like an acceptable frame rate, I think you should be able to pop your Tears of the Kingdom copy into your Switch 2, and just because it's stronger hardware, you get better performance. I mean, when you emulate Switch on a PC, you can get better performance than the Switch on a game like Tears of the Kingdom. The reason for that is just because it's tied to the hardware, right, at the end of the day. So there's really no reason that you couldn't enhance the games when playing them on better hardware, and I really hope that's the direction they go with it, because I would really hate if Tears of the Kingdom was still at essentially an, in my opinion, an unplayable frame rate. I know a lot of people didn't mind it. A lot of people were fine with the frame rate of Tears of the Kingdom. Personally, I couldn't get into the game because I just thought the performance was so abhorrent that I just had no fun playing it. You know, every time you use the main mechanic of the game, the the frame rate would just slow down to a crawl. It'd be like a slideshow. So I really need to see those enhancements. Same goes for loading times. A lot of games on Switch have like insane loading times, and that should definitely be something that you can crunch down just through the hardware of the Switch 2. This is something I'm not sure if I should or should not expect. You know, I just don't know what to expect from Nintendo when it comes to these like more like modern sensibilities, like enhancing performance with better hardware. I just don't know what to expect from them on it, but I would really need that to be the case. I'm not sure what's going to happen for that. I could definitely see Nintendo being the type to be like, you want to play Tears of the Kingdom at 60 FPS? You better buy the remastered deluxe edition on Switch 2 or something. So yeah, not sure what to expect on that, but I'm really hopeful that we get those backwards enhancements. So there's only one last thing that I need personally for the Switch 2, and that would be essentially Smash Bros. I'm gonna need a new Smash game. Okay, this one is the lowest on my priority list because I'm not convinced that I'm actually gonna need a Smash game to buy the Switch. I think it's possible that they get me to buy it without a new Smash, but dude, Ultimate is over, man. Let's just be real. I've been playing Rivals of Aether 2. Rivals of Aether 2 is great. It's holding me, you know, it's good. It's a great game. But it's not Super Smash Brothers, you know. It's not all of these characters congregating. I would really love to see a new Smash that's less, you know, like, oh, here's like 90 characters, and more so just like a refresh. Here's new move sets for every character. Here's much better graphics. Here's, you know, that's what I really would like to see with a new Smash Bros. Is kind of like a soft reboot, you know, maybe like a roster size comparable to like Brawl or something like that. Doesn't need to be like 40-50 characters either, you know, but I really want to see a nice reboot for Smash, one that showcases the new hardware. I mean, it obviously makes a lot of sense what they did with Ultimate, because the Switch 1 wasn't really more impressive on a hardware standpoint than the Wii U was. It was really very comparable, so it made sense for them not to try to upgrade Smash in any way visually, and instead just like make Smash better. You know, we'll take Smash 4, put even more characters, put better mechanics, and just make the game, make Smash 4 better. That was really their, you know, the way they went with Ultimate, and I think it made sense. It's respectable, but I don't really think that approach is going to work as well when you have such a leap in performance with the Switch 2. I know a lot of people are not sure yet about the leap in performance, but I think it's all but confirmed. If you look at that Mario Kart footage, it doesn't look that impressive, but in my last video, I compared it to how Mario Kart 8 looks, and it makes it a lot more clear just how big of an upgrade it is visually. So I do think the capabilities of this system will allow for a super impressive looking Smash Bros, and I would really love to see that. So a new Smash Bros for me is just, this is the console seller for me. It's a system seller. Smash Bros, it's just the best Nintendo franchise in my opinion. Now look, I could make a whole video talking just about like Smash Bros speculations for a new one, but that would just make this video super long and just focused on the least important part of the video, which is that I just want a new Smash Bros. So I think we can end it there. That's basically my list. Is there anything that you need for the Switch 2? Let me know in the comments. I don't know if this video will do as well as the last one, but I'm really happy that, you know, a lot of people checked out the other one, so I figured why not make another video about the Switch 2. I really want to be hyped for the Switch 2, but you know, I just need more information. I need to see more things. So yeah, that's why I'm making this video. So hopefully when that Nintendo Direct comes around in April, you know, it'll address all my worries, and it's gonna make the Switch 2 a must buy, and I'll be happy. Anyway, yeah, see ya.